I'm heading back to Portland now. I just left Spokane about an hour ago. It was a really good trip, and I thought I'd make some more videos on the way back because, I got nothing else to do but sit in the car for 5 hours. Let's call this one 2021 so far. 2021. Wow, what can I say about 2021? Beginning of the year, of course, the pandemic was still going on. I mean, we already had a feeling at that point that it wasn't ending anytime soon. At that point, I was still with my other girlfriend, Sarah, and we broke up shortly after Valentine's Day, so around March, maybe early March. Not a lot of things otherwise have gone on this year so far. I tried to apply for a house loan. I got turned down because my debt to income ratio was too high. So that got kind of put on hold. I've been investing in some stocks, hopefully some of those pan out and I can, pay off some of my bills and put some money away. I did take a really good vacation with the kids. We went to Legoland and Disneyland, and it was a really fun vacation. It was a long vacation because I drove all the way down there, but we needed that. We really did. It was a really good vacation. The kids, of course, went back to school to in-person learning, and so that's been an ongoing experience. As much as I like them going back to in-person learning, it always makes me nervous, though, because, they're in an environment where there's a lot of possibility of being sick. Not just normal sick, but, now we're talking COVID also. So there's that. I did get a brand new car this year. That was a very good upgrade because the little GTI just wasn't doing it anymore, It just wasn't big enough, and the kids were crammed in the back, and I had to say goodbye to my little GTI. And I ended up getting a much bigger car, which I'm very happy about because it's been a very nice car, especially when I went on the big road trip with the kids to California. They all had plenty of room. There was plenty of room to put all of our goodies, and on the way back, we ended up with quite a bit more stuff. So obviously, it was nice to have the extra room in the car. So that was a big upgrade. Still working at Costco. That part hasn't changed, and of course I'm thankful that our job wasn't affected by COVID and all that. Where a lot of people, like in the restaurant business, they were affected pretty hard for a while there, and I'm sure they still are to some extent. But, we grocery people, are considered very important people, I already forgot what that term means, or what that was. Something to do with the fact that we don't close and that we're important. Anyway, if you remember that term, go ahead and put that in the comments. For some reason, I totally blanked that. But yeah, so I still got my job, and I had to renew my lease on my apartment. My lease was up in November, so I just recently made the decision to renew it because I was hoping to move out. But since that didn't work out, I had to stay in my apartments. And all in all, it's not bad. I've lived there for a long time at this point. I've lived in 3 different apartments in this complex, and the managers are nice. They do a lot of upkeep. You have any problems, they've always been really good about working, getting stuff done. But, more so for my kids than myself, I want them to know what it's like to live in a house, I don't really care if I live in apartments the rest of my life. I'm used to it. It doesn't really bother me. But I want them to at least kind of have the experience of what it's like to live in a house, more so for them, and unfortunately they're not so little anymore. So having a big backyard probably wouldn't matter too much to them. But, just the joy of living in a house where you could decorate. You don't always have to worry about your neighbors making noise or you're making noise. My goal is hopefully maybe by this time, November of next year, 2022, I'll be in a little better spot financially. I don't know if my car would be paid off by then. I would seriously doubt that, but you never know. If some of these stocks pay off, maybe I can pay off my car early. and then I'd be in a much better financial spot to get a loan. So we'll have to see how that all turns out. All the kids have already been sick this year. Phoenix had a quarantine. He was out of school for 10 days because of possible exposure to someone who tested positive. So that was a new experience. And I'm glad that work is still working with us, trying to allow us to take some time off in the event of school problems. So that's nice that my work is able to do that. I know a lot of work probably isn't so accommodating. So I really appreciate the fact that my work is able to work with us a little bit. And I was able to take some time off. And we're heading towards winter and heading towards Halloween. The kids got their costumes already. They want to go trick-or-treating. I didn't take them trick-or-treating last year, but I think I will this year. I think it's important that they hold on to some of their traditions, it's I told them, well, you just got to find one that has a mask, right? But, I think we're getting to the point where, for the most part, we're being safe and we're doing the things we need to do. We can't live our life in fear for the rest of our lives, but it doesn't mean not taking those safety precautions either. But I don't think at this point, as long as we're doing mostly what we're supposed to be doing, that we should not go out, not do anything. There's always the possibility. And at this point, I know a lot of people who've gotten it, and somehow I've managed to dodge a bullet or stay under the radar, but I feel like it is just a matter of time. Anyway, then we got Thanksgiving coming up. We don't really do a lot. We don't have a big family or outside family, so typically, and my kids aren't even big on Thanksgiving food, so they don't really appreciate it as much as I did growing up. I love Thanksgiving. I mean, it was all about the food, of course. And I didn't really care about the social aspect. I just wanted the food. So Thanksgiving's never really a big thing. Christmas, of course, is big for the kids. And we're going to have to try and take it easy this year. I don't have that much money. I mean, it's starting to get a little tight these days. And we just have to be careful about our spending. I'll be paying for that Disney trip probably for the next 5 years. So... But we're thankful for what we have, My kids have clothes on their back. They never have to worry about where their next meal is coming from. They have a warm bed to sleep in. We're doing okay. And I try to appreciate that and remind myself daily that, it could be worse, a lot worse. Maybe we don't have all the things we want in 2021, but, for the most part, everybody's healthy, that I know of personally in my little circle, and everybody is, surviving. We may not be thriving, but we're surviving, and surviving is definitely a step in the right direction. So 2021, as we close things up, I would like maybe a little more prosperity, a little more happiness for my friends, that could use a little more prosperity and happiness. I haven't dated since March. I haven't dated anybody. And the idea strikes me once in a while for sure, It'd be nice to be in a relationship. At the same time, though, it's been nice because I can do the things I want to do and I don't have to ask anybody and I don't have to feel guilty about making the decisions I do. So in a way, I guess, it's a two-edged sword, right? It's nice to be in a relationship and have those moments of sharing things and looking forward to going on vacations and doing things together. But at the same time, it is nice to have the freedom of not having to have that obligation of, we're going to do this because it's a mutual thing. So I think for the time being, I'm happy where I'm at. I'm not just saying that if something comes down the road, an opportunity or some circumstance that I'm going to turn it down. But at this point, I'm not actively really looking either. So, but you never know what life brings down, you never know what happens. I could get married, I could win the lottery. Who knows, right? So 2021 so far, tell me what you guys have been doing. Leave in the comments some of your most memorable experiences for 2021 so far. And maybe leave in the comments what you would like to do in 2022 or the rest of this year even. Till then though, guys, stay safe. Try to enjoy your lives and don't be afraid, you know. There's a difference between being crazy and unsafe, but there's also a difference between, you know, you got to go out and still live your life. Take care of yourself, guys, and I'll see you soon. Massachusetts out.